Saleena, it is great to see you again. Been over 10 months since our first interview. That was back in 10th of October of 2023. So, how have you been since then? How are you doing?
Yeah, it's been a while. Thank you for having me again. It's been a bit different. It's been actually still in the real world. Um, I think after my interview, when I did my last interview with you, I had a lot of people reach out to me and they were like, I seen your interview, and they were asking, like, even now, like a lot of people from the real world come to me and they say to me that, like, they ask me questions and I help them out. And they're like, especially with me wearing a hijab on, a lot of the girls were like, you know, especially with you wearing a hijab and going on there and starting your own business, it's really inspirational. And I've had so many nice and kind messages from people. I think since our last interview, I went ahead and I actually invested in my own coach. So I spent 5K on another coach that's going to work with me more one to one. I'm still in the real world, still using what Andrew teaches and what the mentors there teach. But this one's more of a one to one where he actually sits down with me and goes through my copywriting and what I can improve on. So I finally moved into my new house. So it's been a big 10 months, a lot of challenges, a lot of blessings, and yeah, there's been a lot going on.
Okay, first thing I'll address is you saying many women were actually messaging you uh, for doing the interview. I think
Mm,
that's because I've seen it as well. It seems because of Tate's influence over male population, women don't think that the real world is for them. They think, I don't think women can even join it. They're unsure of that.
yeah.
I've had that quite a few times, women asking me. So, what kind of messages were they asking you? Was it also like, can I join the real world? Or was it more of, it's great to see another woman actually building something for herself and striving to be the best version of herself? Like, yeah,
I think
what
it
would you
was
say for that?
more to do with they were in the real world, and I think because they did speak to me like it's very sort of like it's full of males and there's a few females in there, and it's more to do with like how do I go out there and pitch businesses because I'm a Muslim, because I wear a hijab on, how do I go? I don't have the confidence to go and do that. And they saw my interview and they were like, you look like you have so much confidence. And I was like, that doesn't come easy in the beginning, it's not easy. I used to hate being on camera. I used to hate it. And I was just like, it comes with practice. And they said that it's so nice to see another girl that I can actually talk to and that I can relate to. And I help them out with sometimes they're struggling with their outreaches, and they'll reach out to me and they'll be like, I'm actually struggling with this. Can you help me out? And I'm like, I'll be more than happy to help out. But I think through speaking to me and with me sort of having that influence, wearing a hijab and being a woman, being in the real world, it's made them interact more in the real world, and it's made them go out and implement their skills. Whereas before they were a bit worried, like a business owner is going to judge me, a business owner is going to take me seriously. And it was just sort of motivating them and speaking to them and just, sort of boosting their confidence. And I
Mhm.
think that really helped with them. Like I've had people message me saying that I've got a lot more confidence now. I'm not scared to be in the real world. Like I know like it's full of men, but I'm more interactive, and thank you so much for your help. So there's a lot of messages like that.
Okay, very cool. And what would you give as an answer for other women? How did they pitch to businesses?
So I think when they were pitching, it was very, and it's understandable. When you first start out, you're freaking out, and you don't know what to say, and it comes across really pitchy and salesy. And they'll send me screenshots, and I've actually become friends with one girl that's been in the real world. We become friends, and we just talk back and forth. And I've been helping her with her outreach, with her email outreach especially. And I was just giving advice, don't sound too pitchy. Just be human and pitch them, because at the end of the day, you're a business owner, they're a business owner. You both kind of need each other, and just sort of take it from that angle instead of being salesy and pitchy. Just be yourself. And I said to her, if they don't need your services now, you can follow up with them 3 months down the line. I know I followed up with you quite a few times, and you was like, thank you for following up with me. And I said, you can follow up with them quite like, a few months down the line, and they'll need you again. And business owners actually appreciate that, where they're like, this person's actually following up, like this person's got determination. It goes a long way.
Hmm. Very solid advice. Then yeah, you have a skill to offer that's valuable for a business. So need to, I guess you don't really realize that at the start because it's all new to you. But as you say as well, even if they decline it first time around, those 3 months will give you extra practice. Then you can follow up, and it's just positives. Again, I don't want to repeat what you're saying because you laid everything out just
Mhm.
as it is. Okay, then you said challenges. So,
Yeah.
what kind of challenges have you been facing over the 10 months?
So when I first went out and I started writing for business owners, I was getting quite good results. It was really good, and I think when you're writing for business owners, you kind of forget to improve your own skill set because you're so caught up in getting them results and writing for them that I do something called Kaizen, where it's like once a day now I'll sit down and I'll improve my copywriting because I was in sales. I'll improve my sales, or I'll get on a networking call with people. And when I first went out and start copywriting and writing for people, I forgot to improve my skill set, and that was one thing that I think if I had done a bit better, I would have got better results. And now I'm starting to do it, and I invested in a one-to-one coach that's helped a lot more
Hmm.
with that.
You said Kaizen, correct?
Yeah.
Just checking if I heard that. Right, 1% better every day.
Yes.
I remember the first time I heard about it, it was a pretty cool concept because it's something I believe they implemented it in Japan to make the cars as best as they could. So before, Japan wasn't very known for manufacturing of cars. Then they implemented that rule of Kaizen, and now
Mhm.
they're everywhere. Lexuses, Toyotas, the most
Yes.
reliable cars. And yeah, it was all because of that principle that you just spoke about. So if it works for huge billion-dollar companies, it'll work for you as well.
Yeah, we definitely need to take that on board.
Hmm. You said, okay, when did you get the personal coach? And how has that been for you?
I got him about, I think it was about 7 months ago. It's going really well because when we first started, he said to me, okay, what's your goal here? And it was a really crazy goal. And he's like, I never heard that before. And I said, I've been in the real world and I've experienced the real world. And I actually want to, my end goal here is to write for Andrew Tate, do marketing for him. That's my end goal. And I was like, I know that you have worked with these big brands and whatever, he charged 5K. I paid 5K on the spot, and I was like, okay, do you know what? I need like what you're doing. I need to learn that. And he's been helping me get a lot of clients. And I think right now a lot of our sessions are to do with to improve because I want to market for Andrew Tate and for what they're building. And a lot of our practice is to do with improving my emails and improving my marketing for him. And it's been very difficult, but we're getting there. We're halfway there.
Mhm.
We're getting there.
Interesting. What is the driving force behind you saying that then, wanting to do marketing for Andrew Tate?
I think it helped when I first joined the real world. It helped me a lot in terms of I had no money. I was broke. I was living with my parents. It was, I think last time we spoke, I was like me and my partner living at my parents' house. And through the skills and the advice that I learned from the real world, I feel like a lot more people need to know about it. A lot more people need to know about what they're actually creating, and especially with escaping the matrix and everything that they teach in one platform. And it's not even just with the real world. I know they've got a few other things going on as well, and I feel like a lot of people need to know about that. As it's helped me, I want to be alongside them help their cause as well, because it helped me a lot.
Hmm. Very interesting. You say because you say that, I wonder what do you see within the real world that's not marketed enough for how beneficial it is for people? Would you have an answer for that off the top of your head?
I think what's kind of not marketed enough, I think because there's so much noise out there, and I feel like you kind of, the way that they're marketing is absolutely, I know they've recently just changed it because I binge watch his videos because my coach says you need to binge watch his videos, so then you can sound like him, so then you can market like him. So I've been binge watching his videos, and I think because there's so much noise out there, I think taking a different angle and sort of, I know some of the marketing that they're doing is amazing, but I would do it in kind of different ways to get more traction through like know, like, and trust, which is KLT. So I think when I get to his team, maybe that's some recommendations I can make to him.
Okay, okay,
Make to
cool,
them.
cool. I'm just wondering. Then you mentioned when you said challenges and you said at the start you said challenges and blessings. So I first reference to challenges, and now what about the blessings? You mentioned house. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Anything else happen in that time?
I think when me and my partner first started out, he started out in sales, I was in copywriting, and our income has increased a lot through what we couldn't, like now whenever we kind of have a we sort of call it a boom, so it's like a celebration. We'll go out and eat, and now money's not really an issue anymore. We don't look at price, and I feel like even when you have a lot of money, people still look at price. But I think through the philosophies, through the people that I've learned from, and the people that have taught me, and the sort of the videos that I've seen, it's changed my mindset, and we've 10x our income, and I'm going to say that it's a blessing to say that we have a car, but it's not on finance. It's bought outright because we
Hmm.
don't believe in finance, and we got a house, and it's just money, and mostly to do with money's not an issue. And also I feel like my relationship with God has gotten a lot better too. I
Hmm.
know a lot of people don't really talk about that, but I had like no money and I was struggling. I was struggling to be closer to God. And I'm not saying that money changed that, but I'm saying me changing as a person and not worrying about the little things. And that when something goes wrong, I'm like, okay, I know God has a plan. And I feel like when you improve yourself and when you become a better person, your relationships around you, the people around you, your relationships get better, your relationship with God gets better, and you become a better person. I think that's one of the
Just
big lessons I'm going
mhm.
to say that I had.
Just to add to that, I think what you mean is when you're struggling for finances, you're in survival mode because you don't know
Yes.
when the next paycheck is going to come to feed you, to pay the bills, for everything. So there's so many other worries to where, again, you're just focusing on surviving. When you actually have money, you're able to dedicate more time to God because you're no longer in survival. Now it's more thriving. I don't know the right
Yeah.
terminology for
I
it, but
agree.
yeah, let's say you're actually able to thrive then. And you're also able to even give more and help more people. So it's really, it's probably not, you could say it's not money. That's like quote unquote, people call it evil. It's the people and how they use it. Because
Yeah.
money is a tool and it's actually, yeah, how the person uses it, which determines whether it's good or bad in that sense.
No, I
But yeah.
agree. I always have this saying where I'm like, if you, money just makes you more of what you are. If you're a
Mhm.
nice person, it will make you a nice and generous person. If you're a nasty person without money, money will just make you into a more of a nasty person. It's just a tool, it doesn't change you.
Mhm. Right. Exactly. And what about then? How different is your average day now compared to when we spoke 10 months ago?
I think when we spoke 10 months ago, I was really in sort of, I was working back then. I just left my job, and it was very, like you said, survival mode. So I was working, working, working all the time. Now I have that time where I have this bio that I always put on my Facebook where I'm like, when I'm not working out or cooking for my alpha husband, but I get a lot more time with my family. I get to be present with my family, and I get to do what I want to do. Like, I'm blessed to say that I can wake up at 1 p.m. I woke up the other day because I was so tired. But when I was in a job or when I was in survival mode, I couldn't do that. I
Mhm.
like, some days I'm like, okay, because I just recently had a family wedding, and I'm just like, okay, to everyone, to all of my clients and everyone that kind of speak to, that I'm meeting with, like this week is blocked off to be with family, and I was there and I was present. And day to day life is I'm more present with the people that I love. I enjoy what I do, and yes, at times it's difficult and it's a challenge, but everything's a challenge. I feel like when you're wanting to achieve something great, challenges are gonna come, and you have to pick your poison on which challenge you wanna kind of deal with.
Hmm. Yeah, it gives you, for what you said initially, it gives you just the freedom with your time to spend it how you want, and structure it how you want as well,
Mhm.
instead of having to abide by the structure of something like a job or whatever else. So yeah,
Definitely.
just freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom sums it up. Mhm. Then a bit more about your profession of copywriting.
Okay.
So since you've been in it for, how long have you been doing copywriting in total? When did you begin?
About 2 years.
Okay. So in those 2 years,
Yeah.
uh, how would you split up what you've learned? So let's say there's layers to copywriting, which when you start, you probably don't even realize until you get some good insights from maybe material you're researching or from your personal coach, and you realize, oh, there's so much more here, and
Mhm.
there's so much more to dive into, to learn from. So if you were to break it down in that way, how would you say from when you began up until now, what were those layers of your understanding, if that makes sense?
I think there's so much. I think when you first start, you think, oh, it's just sitting down and writing a piece of copy. It is not. You're sitting down. Like you said, you're kaizening. You're learning every single day. You're researching your target market. You're sort of working with the numbers. Why the one numbers not working? Why are the numbers working? And as well as that, I think one big thing that people don't talk about is I have this rule that I don't partner with everyone. So when I'm first going on a sales call with you, it's not going to be a sales call. I'm going to learn more about your business to see if I'm a fit for you and whether you're a fit for me. I think when I first started, I didn't have that. I went for anyone and everyone, and I actually kind of started disliking the process. But when I start putting in place, I want to work with people that have the same values as me, that have the same goals as me, it was working out amazingly, a lot more better. And I think this is the one thing that copywriters kind of oversee. When you're copywriting, you have to know how learn how sales. You need to learn how to close. You need to learn how to talk to people. It's so much more than writing copy. You need to learn how to write copy. That's 5%. The other 95% is how you interact with people, how you negotiate with people, how you close deals, how you show up. I One piece of advice that I always give to everyone is once a week, get on a networking call with some like random business owner every week, every Tuesday, no matter what I'm doing, no matter where I'm at, I'm going to be on a networking call with the business owner. We're going to sit down, we're going to have a chit chat, and we're going to talk. And I cannot explain how that has boosted my confidence. And I'm going to say it, and it's absolutely crazy. A lot of my clients I get from referrals. I don't actually go out and hunt for clients because I built such a good network of people, such a good network of business owners. They'll refer me that I don't need to sit there for 1 to 2 hours a day and do outreaching. I know how to do outreaching, and I'll still do it to improve my skill, but I don't have to do it
Mhm.
because I've built such a big network of people.
Mhm. And that's exactly how it goes. At the
Yeah.
start, it's all that upfront work you need to do, all that learning, outreaching, everything. But eventually, once you learn the skill and once you have clients and you over deliver for them,
Hmm.
then the clients will just come from referrals, from people hearing what you're doing, from people knowing that you're a copywriter and you're working with these businesses. Just people will start showing up. And whether, again, it's from referrals or people just hearing about what you're doing, as long as you're, as you say, kaizening, then
Hmm.
you will have clients and you will keep improving. I don't know. I'm starting to ramble here, but you know
No,
what I mean.
I get it. And I think that when it comes to copywriting, it's like you have to see that it's not one block. It's multiple blocks built on top of each other, multiple skills that you need to become better. You can have a copywriting skill and you can be good at what you do, but if no one knows who you are, you're not going to make a lot of money. I think one thing that when I first started, I was absolutely, it was really bad. I started doing personal branding. So I started posting my own content. And at the beginning, a few of my posts were really bad. And now they're starting to get a lot of organic attraction and I get people messaging me. You know, I've declined the last 2 months, I've declined about 12 business owners because I'm like, I can't work with you, but I've referred them to other copywriters that I think would be like a good fit for them. But I definitely think if you're a new copywriter and you're starting out, learn on your skill, definitely, but also learn how to close, how to outreach, learn sales, network with business owners, and build a personal brand. Because a
Mhm.
personal brand is what is going to pay you. Because I know not everyone wants to go out there and do outreaching all the time and do cold emails and cold pitches. But when you have people coming to you and you're declining people and you're like, okay, I can't take on any more clients, that is when you know, okay, you know what, my skill level is going up. So definitely, I think a lot of people that talk about it work on personal brand. It's so important.
Mhm. Very solid advice. And one more thing I'd add is, as long as you're improving in life in general,
Mm,
getting new experiences, and always doing something that improves you in some way, that will also reflect in your copywriting. Because
100%.
again, as you say, it's not just writing on paper, but there's so many experience you can draw from to make your writing come alive. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Then what about future plans? So short term, medium term, long term, what do you have planned?
Short term, I'm still working on my copywriting. Medium term, I'm actually looking to build my own offer and help other people. I'm currently in the process of working on that. A long term, I want to, like I said, work alongside the Tates, market with them, be in the sales department, in the marketing department, and actually create an impact with them. That's my long term goal. And I know that's going to take a while. I know that's not going to happen now. It might happen 2, 3 years down the line, but I'm willing to put the work in for it. And I said like to my coach when I was like, I like, take my money. Like I need your help to help me to get to my goal. I know it's not going to be easy, but maybe when I'm there, we'll do another interview.
That's awesome. Love that. Um, had something in my mind that I wanted to follow up with, but slipped my mind. So I'll ask a different question until I remember. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is what it was. Are you going to build your own agency? Because since you're saying you're declining clients, that means you have you don't want to overload yourself. But if you were to have an agency, then you'd be able to basically manage everything and scale even further. So is that something you've considered, or does it somehow not benefit you?
I think it was something that was in my mind, but I'm kind of 50-50 by it because I know I've worked with agency owners and I know how stressful it is to not just the overheads, I know how stressful it is to run a team and how stressful it is to make sure everything's in place. And my kind of goal is if I'm going to be a coach, if I'm going to teach somebody, I want to be one on one. So if I don't build an agency, I would love to build some sort of like a mastermind to help people because I never had that. When I first started copywriting, I went into a lot of these courses, and a lot of the people that taught the courses, they weren't actually present. I want to be present and actually help people. So I'm not
Mhm.
too sure. I'm kind of 50-50 in that, but I don't think so.
Okay. But yeah, that's an interesting path to take as well. Completely makes sense. There's multiple things you can do. So yeah, okay. And I think actually, okay, I was gonna wrap up, but let's. Is there any more to add to your connection? You said you're able to dedicate more time now to God. So have you noticed any differences in your life from that?
Yes, definitely. I think now, like I said, that I'm able to dedicate more time to God. I'm able to pray because I have a certain time where we need to pray. So the other day I had a call with a business owner and I was like to them, can you just give me 10 minutes? I just need to go pray and I'll be back. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm I can put that relationship first. I feel like a few weeks ago I was struggling with a few things and sitting there and talking to God and not having to rush. Because I know when you're working a job, you're like, my break's gonna be over in 10 minutes. I need to quickly rush. And I get that one-on-one time with God. Like I'll close the door and I'll just pray. And I get that one-on-one time with God. And I feel like I become a lot softer towards people that I care about, because I know before when I didn't have that relationship with God, I'm harsh on myself. I will give myself some really I'm my biggest critic. So I will sit there and I will criticize myself, and then when someone comes to me and asks me for help, I will be really harsh because I'm like, I'm really harsh on myself, so obviously I'm going to be harsh on you. But having that connection with God has made me softer. It's made me a better friend, better wife, and a better daughter. And it makes me, because I have that time now to really invest. Like my Fridays, I don't work on a Friday. I will pray and I will read the Quran and I'll read into Islam. That's what my Fridays are for. No meetings, no work. Fridays blocked off for that. And I get that day just being me and God. And I know when I'm closer to God, I get a lot of blessings my way, like where things that I ask for than things that I won't ask for. And it's like you said, when you get challenges, and I used to think, why is this happening to me? But now I think to myself, okay, what is God trying to teach me? Mindset has shifted.
Amazing. Beautiful. Love that. And let's wrap up then with final question. I probably would have asked you this last time as well. Since this began in the real world, what advice would you have to people who are unsure about joining because they're thinking, man, $50, what if I get scammed?
Yes. I think a lot of people think that. I understand that. When I first started, I used to think the same. So I understand the boat that they're in. But I feel like what what you think that might go wrong. Let's say, for example, they think that you might get scammed. And I'm not going to say that it's $50, because I know $50 is a lot to a lot of people. But what if it goes right? Like for me, I took that risk when I joined the real world. A lot of people like to me, I don't think that. A lot of my family was like, the influence that Andrew Tate has, they don't necessarily agree with it. But I joined and I took that risk, and now I'm living a fruitful life in all areas of life. And I think if you think that it's a scam and you have that scarcity mindset, and I understand because I had the same too, but what happens if it does go right? Because it went right for me, it went right for many other people. The people that I still talk to, they're improving every single day. So what if it does go right? What is your life going to look like?
Very well said. And for people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
Yeah, on my Facebook. So I'm more active on my Facebook, but on my Instagram as well. But I normally get like a lot of DMs from people. And I just wanted to say one more thing. Like with the real world, I feel like you'll get, when you join and you're more active and you're talking to people, you'll get people that will message you left, right, and center. And when you have a boom or when you do something great, or even when you have a challenge, you'll have people that will be there to support you. You have a support network. And I know a lot of people have this like lone wolf analogy, but if you're around successful people, you will become successful. I had someone that was in the real world, and he's still in the real world. He's just gone to Malaysia and he's sending me pictures like, this is what Malaysia looks like. And I'm just like, I don't even know who these people are, but they've become such good friends, and you'll meet some amazing people in there.
Beautiful. And yeah, Facebook, what is it? So I can add it to the description of the video.
Yeah, it should just be Saleena Ramzan, or like my Instagram, which is Saleena Nisa.
Okay, so yeah, those will be in the description of the video if anyone who's interested, so they can check it out. Yeah, Saleena, what a great follow-up. Really enjoyed speaking to you. Amazing to hear all your progress, how well you're doing, your aspirations, everything. And I'm sure from this interview, you've inspired many people, probably especially women, to know that there's another path for them as well if they wish
Yeah.
to go down it, which is amazing. So great speaking to you, Selena.
Thank you for
Look
having me.
forward to the next follow up, and I wish you all the best until then.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.